Ma'am, extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused while logging in. I don't know how come you got the wrong link because I was waiting here in the room and I was also surprised that you hadn't logged in where you were trying to log in. So I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused this time.
That's all okay, dear. It was just that I committed and I'm not there.
No, ma'am, it's not your fault. There was some miscommunication with the link. That is the reason it took time. I'm really sorry for that.
Perfect.
All right, ma'am. So we are good to start, ma'am. We are live now. So can we begin?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. This is Batul from IGCP, and I would like to welcome all the viewers who have joined our platform for the better exchange of knowledge that is going to be shared by our eminent speaker for today's session. With great honor and pleasure, I would like to introduce a very renowned nutritionist, Dr. Shweta Diwan, ma'am. She is the founder and director at the Health Mechanics. With her help and with her wonderful inputs about the topic we'll be discussing today, and the topic for today's session is how tasty food can give perfect health. While an interesting topic for all our viewers to know about. So before moving on to today's session, let us have a brief look on what the topic says. A balanced diet, rich in essential nutrients, combined with the pleasure derived from the taste of food, can promote optimal health and well being. We won't miss out on unraveling the secrets of how tasty foods can contribute to perfect health. So we'll be knowing more about the mouth-watering journey towards a healthier and more enjoyable lifestyle with ma'am's wonderful inputs and knowledge about the topic. So now without any further delay, I would like to welcome ma'am at our forum and would like to hand over the session to her for her precious talk to begin. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the people who have joined us today. First and foremost thing, we all are humans first, and medicines are not there on trees. खाना हमें पेड़ों से मिलता है, जो हमारी उपज होती है सबसे पहले नेचुरल तरीके से आती है. तो अगर वो टेस्टी नहीं होगा तो हम अपनी लाइफ को एंजॉय कैसे कर सकते हैं. बीइंग इनटू अ कल्चरल सोसाइटी, वी नो हमारे घर पे कोई आता है, हम कहीं भी बाहर जाते हैं, सम्मान भी खाने के साथ किया जाता है, प्यार भी खाने से जताया जाता है, और बीमारी भी खाने से ही ठीक करी जाती है. और अगर वो टेस्टी ना हो तो मजा नहीं आता है. So taking it forward, a little brief about who I am so that everybody is in sync to take this further with me. So with more than 13 years of experience with different multi-speciality hospitals and my practical experience, along with being a teacher and a lecturer with a lot of universities, schools, colleges, and institutions, I have been even delivering lectures to corporates. I have my own show by the name of the Health Mechanics on news channels, and we have been featuring a lot of successful people. Now I'm showing some before and afters who just not left food or their tasty food, rather they were enjoying their food and got their body back along with their medical disorders. Not taking much of time on this. So one case study, which was of Mr. Ashish Manan, who lost 8 kilos and in just 1.5 months. उनके blood pressure fluctuations ठीक हो गए, headache ठीक हो गए और वो active हो गए. PCOS ठीक हो जाता है, vitamin D levels ठीक हो जाते हैं, menstrual cycle ठीक हो जाती है, liver failures तक ठीक होते हैं, migraines तक ठीक होते हैं, again PCOS and a normal weight loss candidate. So this is a patient by the name of Puneet Baluja, who was advised a heart transplant. But when we worked with him for emotional well-being and physical well-being in terms of giving him an apt and nutrition-filled, packed, tasty food items, he could just get back to 5 stents, not just the transplant. So these are some successful stories I wanted to start with before I take this forward. We specialize in disease reversal plans. And of course, we teach you how to change lifestyle so that you can reverse any kind of medical disorders. So our today's topic is how tasty food can give you perfect health. So number one factor, we all know that good food is equal to good mood. If I get good food, I'm happy, I'm healthy. How am I healthy? Because I'm healthy here. अगर मुझे मेरी चॉइस का खाना नहीं मिलेगा, अगर मुझे टेस्टी खाना नहीं मिलेगा, for how long can I be on a bland food? And if we talk about जो अच्छा टेस्टी खाना है वो मुझे बीमारियां भी देता है, तो उसके लिए हम ब्रिंगिंग लाइफ बैक टू बेसिक्स की बात करेंगे। बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन पे आज मैं आप सबको लेकर जाऊंगी। द फर्स्ट foremost thing is how food is prepared, whether it is baked, steamed, fried, or it is being brought by outside sources. That matters the most with us. So we have to make sure that जब हमारा खाना बन रहा है, that is not fried, that is not overloaded with fats, that is not overloaded with creams, और जब भी हम बना रहे हैं हम बहुत खुशनुमा ख्याल से बना रहे हैं, एज इफ हम प्रसाद बना रहे हैं। जब भी कहीं भी लंगर करने जाते हैं, जब भी हम कहीं भी प्रसाद पाने जाते हैं, तो उसका फ्लेवर और जायका बहुत अलग हो जाता है। अगर हम अपने घरों से शुरुआत करेंगे कि मेरा खाना बन कैसे रहा है, जो मेरे घर पे सभी जन खाने वाले हैं, तो उसका स्वाद और जायका ऑटोमेटिकली इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा। अब टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो वो वेरीड सिटीज के साथ अलग अलग वेरीड फॉर्म्स में मिलता है। कहीं पे बहुत गर्मी है, कहीं पे ट्रॉपिकल क्लाइमेट है, कहीं पे सर्दी पड़ रही है, तो सब जगहों का खाना अलग अलग रहेगा। बट बनाने वाला जो है उसका ख्याल, जो वो इमोशंस अपने खाने में डाल रहा है, वो कितनी पॉजिटिव है, वो किस ऑरा को क्रिएट करके खाना बना रहा है, वो मैटर करता है। अगर कलब के खाना बनेगा, अगर नाराज होके खाना बनेगा, या फिर जबरदस्ती से खाना बनेगा, तो जो फूड का फ्लेवर होगा वो ऑटोमेटिकली रिड्यूस हो जाएगा, और जो मेरा खाना है वो एसिडिक हो जाएगा। जैसे हम सब जानते हैं, whenever we go to any temple, whenever we offer anything, चाहे वो पानी है, चाहे वो फल है, चाहे वो मिठाई है, and the moment we do puja, and after certain fraction of minutes it gets converted into prasad, and we take it like this. Similarly, how the food is being prepared matters most. If I am putting in all the vibrations into my food, that this is going to be offered to my Lord, and मेरे को जो मिलने वाला है वो प्रसाद मिलने वाला है, तो प्रिपरेशन हमेशा बहुत नॉमिनल अमाउंट ऑफ फैट में भी बहुत टेस्टी निकल कर आएगी। Not responsibly asking anybody to follow any kind of religion, but अगर हम जैनिज्म में देखें तो they eat from sunrise to sunset, from dawn to dusk. So they eat boiled food, they eat without onion, they eat without garlic, but it is very tasty because the vibrations they put into the food are extremely very important. They are offering every meal to the God. So now another question which is very interesting again comes to me कि हम अपना खाना नहीं बनाते हैं, हमारे लिए खाना कोई और बनाता है। अब इस केस में क्या करेंगे? Again bringing back the cultural aspect of Hinduism, being Indian, जब भी हम घर पे किसी भी पंडित को बुलाते हैं कि आप आइए, आप श्राद्ध का खाना खाइए क्योंकि हमको श्राद्ध करना है, तब बनाया तो भाव सर जाता है कि श्राद्ध का खाना खिलाने वाले हैं, पर पंडित जी क्या करते हैं? whenever they get a thali, they take water in their hands, they do this and they put it on side. साइड वाइब्रेशंस खाने की जिस भी तरीके से वो बनी थी, उन्होंने वो साइड पे करी, एंड अब उन्होंने हाथ जोड़कर they blessed, they asked for the blessing from God, they blessed the food and they started having that food. They chew it really very well and then now they know कि जो उनको खाना उनके सामने मिल रहा है वो एक प्रसाद है, वो अब श्राद्ध वाला भाव निकल चुका है। How are we eating is very important. Another second thing, if I am chewing my food 32 times per bite, हमें 32 दांत मिले हैं, अगर हमने चबा चबा कर खाना खाया, अगर हमने फ्लेवर्स को एंजॉय किया, then any which way, mark my words, food is not going to create any difference in my body which is going to be a negative sensor for a trigger of any stimulant. हमको ये ध्यान देना है कि जो भी हम खाना खाएं उसको 32 बार चबाकर खाएं. लिक्विड कंसिस्टेंसी में वो सलाइवा के साथ ही बन जाना चाहिए, so that जब हमारे वो इसोफेगस में जाएगा, that is just liquid, not at all a biting of a food. Then coming back to another thing, when are we eating? हम कब खाना खा रहे हैं? That is very 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 important. Time is very important. अगर आज की डेट में मैं खाना खा रही हूँ जो एप्ट है, पर मैंने टाइम को नहीं देखा कि किस टाइम मैं खाना खा रही हूँ, then entirely everything goes at a side. Because सुबह उठकर मेरी बॉडी फास्ट से उठ रही है, अगर मैंने खाना नहीं दिया, अगर मैंने इंटरमिटेंट को और स्ट्रेच किया, अगर मैंने कीटो को फॉलो किया, मैंने फैट डाइट्स को फॉलो किया, so those are general patterns which are available on Google. डाइट हमेशा टेलर मेड होना चाहिए, हमेशा पर्सन सेंट्रिक होना चाहिए. उसका एज, उसका हाइट, उसका वेट, उसकी ज्योग्राफिकल कंडीशन, कि वो कौन से शहर में है, वो कौन सी कंट्री में है. फॉर मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, उसका मूड एंड माइंड कैसा है आज. बिकॉज इफ आई एम हैप्पी, then my food is going to give me a lot of benefits. If I'm not happy, still I'm trying to eat food. If I'm not blessing the food, if I'm not understanding that this food is going to give me energy, which energy is depending on my mindset, तो हमें कोई benefit नहीं मिलने वाला है. जब भी हम खाएंगे, हमको ये ध्यान रखना है कि जब हम मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट स्किप करते हैं, हम कोई ना कोई बीमारी इनवाइट कर रहे हैं. नेवर स्किप योर मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट. बहुत बार ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि हमें कब कब खाना खाना चाहिए. Only tip I would recommend, please keep eating every 2 hourly or 3 hourly. Understand आपकी बॉडी क्या सिग्नल दे रही है. 20% आपकी भूख से आपको कम खाना है. अगर आप पेट भरकर खाते हैं, you will feel lethargic. You will not be able to concentrate on the task given. You will have a cloudy mind. You will not be able to take good, good decisions, because you're already heavy. Your mind is settled. You're totally relaxed. No wonder we have to eat to get relaxed, but we have to make sure that we are not overeating. हमेशा 20% अपनी भूख से कम खाइए. अपनी भूख को पहचानिए. हमें तो हंगर के बारे में ही नहीं पता है कि what is the hunger all about. Sometimes it is water hunger. Sometimes खाली बैठे हैं, चलो कुछ खा लेते हैं. Sometimes किसी ने हमारे लिए बहुत प्यार से बनाया तो खा लेते हैं. Sometimes let's go out for a coffee. Even if my body does not require a coffee, let us go out for a coffee because we are free. So what you are eating is very, very, very important. अगर कोई भी मेडिकल डिसऑर्डर है, तो उसके लिए आप अपने एक्सपर्ट से अप्रोच कीजिए. It doesn't really mean कि even if you have gastritis, even if you have liver failures, even you are diabetic, or you have had stunts, or you are pregnant, or you have constipation or any kind of medical disorder from acidity to cancer, it absolutely does not mean that you cannot have tasty food. But how you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and the how food is prepared is very, very, very important. Coming to how much are we eating? Just now I told you that you need to eat, or you need to tell your patients कि आप अपनी भूख से 20% कम खाइए. अब पता कैसे चलता है? बहुत लोगों को पता ही नहीं चलता कि वो कितना खा लेते हैं. जब 32 बार खाने को चबाया जाता है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली 15 to 20 मिनट्स लगते हैं एक प्रॉपर मील को फिनिश करने के लिए. Science has proven that stomach takes 20 minutes to signal brain that I am full. If I touch here, I'll get the signal right away where am I being touched. But when it is scientifically proven that my stomach is going to take about 20 minutes to give signal to my brain that I am full, so that means I have to finish my meal beyond 20 minutes. अभी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल आता है कि डॉक्टर श्वेता, ऐसे तो कितना ही खा लेंगे, 2 रोटी, 3 रोटी, 4 रोटी, 5 रोटी, या जितना मर्जी, और प्रोबेबली अबाल्टी. तो जब आप 32 बार अपने पेशेंट्स को चबाने के लिए बोलोगे, या फिर आप खुद इसको एक्सपीरियंस करोगे, जहां आप लेट्स सपोज 2 चपाती खा रहे हो, you will land up eating not more than 1.5, because you have that interesting flavor in your mouth, you're chewing, and then your stomach is able to signal your brain that enough, done, I am done, I don't need more. हमारा स्टमक इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक इलास्टिक, आप जितना डाल दीजिए वो एक्सपैंड हो जाएगा. जब एनर्जी आउटपुट नहीं होता है तो वेट गेन हो जाता है. आउटपुट नहीं होगा तो कहीं ना कहीं फैट एक्यूमुलेशन से मॉर्बिडली ओबेसिटी भी हो सकती है, बहुत सारे मेडिकल डिसऑर्डर्स भी हो सकते हैं. तो प्लीज ध्यान रखिए, व्हाट आर यू ईटिंग कम्स लास्ट. व्हाट स्टार्ट इज खाना कैसे बना है, खाना कैसे खाया है, किस वक्त खाया है और कितना खाया है इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. कैसे खाया है इज इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट. रेस्टिंग मोड में जाने से 2 घंटा पहले आप अपनी मील को फिनिश कर लीजिए. रात को सोने से 2 घंटे पहले खाना फिनिश हो जाना चाहिए. दोपहर को सोने से 2 घंटे पहले खाना फिनिश हो जाना चाहिए. इवन इफ यू हैव छोले भटूरास, प्लीज टैप ऑन देम. इफ यू हैविंग एनीथिंग फ्राइड, कीप देम फॉर वीकेंड बिंजेस. एवरी डे योर बॉडी रिस्पॉन्ड्स कि आपको कितनी एनर्जी की जरूरत है. और बॉडी सेंट्रिक जब डाइट प्लान्स बनते हैं तो आई एम वेरी श्योर वी ऑल नो दैट इट हैज टू बी एज पर बॉडीज रिक्वायरमेंट्स, बायोकेमिस्ट्री रिपोर्ट रिक्वायरमेंट्स, ज्योग्राफिकल कंडीशंस, हाइट, वेट, सीजन, एवरीथिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बहुत बार ये क्वेश्चन आता है कितना पानी पीना चाहिए, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 6 liters कितना पीना चाहिए. It totally depends on how hydrated your body is. If your skin is good, if your hairs are good, if your nails are good, तो आप जितना पानी पी रहे हैं, it is totally apt. If you're sweating more, you will be drinking more. आपको प्यास नहीं लगनी चाहिए कि आपको बहुत पानी की जरूरत है. लिप्स नहीं फटने चाहिए, स्किन ड्राई नहीं होनी चाहिए. अकॉर्डिंगली पानी पीना जरूरी है. कुछ मेडिकल कंडीशंस में रिस्ट्रिक्शंस पानी पे लगानी जरूरी हो जाती हैं, स्पेशली किडनी, क्रॉनिक किडनी केसेस में और एनी काइंड ऑफ किडनी डिसऑर्डर्स में. Otherwise, there is no specific definition available for people कि कितना पानी पीना है, कितना खाना खाना है. It totally depends on the energy output of the body and the mood of the person. Because sometimes I am emotionally low, I would want to have meetha. Desserts, let's suppose. If I flip the word desserts, so it says stressed. So whenever you feel like binge eating, please check yourself. Are you emotionally well? If you are emotionally well, you will not be craving for desserts because our body is good and smart enough to give you those hormones to be happy. So now comes what are we eating? Number one, I have to make sure कि मेरी medical report सारी ठीक है, तो मुझे सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा, सारी की सारी food items मेरे लिए available है. अगर कोई मेडिकल डिसऑर्डर है तो उनके लिए स्पेसिफिक डाइट प्लान्स बनते हैं. इफ आई एम फिट विदाउट एनी मेडिकल डिसऑर्डर, then I can eat anything available. Yes, not totally depending on promoting being vegan or vegetarian. Every bite matters. If I'm eating non-vegetarian food, although it is very good and high source of protein, but the time child is being slaughtered or a living creature is being slaughtered, जो भी उसका mindset होगा, that will definitely come to that food which you're going to eat. So if that gives you taste and you have your own different mindset, that's already welcoming. But I would still say prefer being vegetarian. There are a lot of protein sources which are available. But if your body demands high protein diet and you wish to not going for plant-based proteins, you can look forward for proteins which are available from non-vegetarian sources. Here, I would like to prioritize emotional wellness. Post-COVID, a lot of people have understood the priority of emotional wellness. Today, if I'm given a food and I'm not served nicely, I'm just given a food, Dr. Shweta, this is your food. So probably I would not want to eat that food. And if I have to oblige eating that food, I am not in the happy mindset. So even if I eat anything, which is even alkaline or with the nature, which is totally not acidic, it is going to turn my body into acid. These are proven facts. Since almost 14 years now, we have been coming across a lot of patients. Prioritizing emotional wellness along with nutritional wellness is the need of the hour. And the moment we mix and blend both of them, we know where we are. I would now open it for the questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for such wonderful inputs upon the topic that you have shared today with all our viewers who were here with us. We have received few questions and I would like to put it across to you.
Yeah.
The first question is, why should one eat a diversity of colorful foods in diet and how does it impact on someone's well-being?
All right. So when we talk about the diversity of colors in our plate, just because I cannot let anybody go on a diet which is totally lacking in one nutrition or the other. If I pick up handful or a fist of pulses, they're in different colors. If I pick up fruits, they are coming to me in different colors. If I'm putting in millets, if I'm putting in wheat, it is a different colored. So the concept of creating a colorful plate always meant that you have fruits, you have salads, you have millets, you have your curd, you have your carbs, you have your proteins intact in colorful sense.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering this question. We'll move to the next question that we have received. And the next question is, what is the probability of someone who is eating healthy food but still is overweight and cannot cope up with that?
Right. So as we discussed in the entire presentation, it is totally not about what you are putting inside first, how the food is being prepared, how you have had that food. Did you chew it well? Were you in a good emotional and mental balance while you were eating? So it is definitely it is important to eat healthy food, but even junks are not bad if prepared well at home. We have said that certain food groups, example, eating outside is equal to a junk food. But what if I make that pav bhaji at home? It is no longer left junk. I know how it is being prepared. You know how you have already had it. You chewed it well. आपने उसको बिल्कुल सलाइवा में मर्ज करके पानी की तरह अंदर लिया है, and you were happy having that. You will definitely not gain weight if you are happy eating your food, you're chewing it well, and definitely it is non-fried.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering this question. We have received another question from another viewer of ours. And the question is, can one still eat healthy food in their budget? Is there any budget to have a healthy food palette?
See, when we talk about budgets, one fist of almonds is equal to one fist of even peanuts. So it is said that peanuts also have those kind of nutrients which are there in almonds. If I have to give avocado to somebody, I can even replace that with something else which is there. So it is totally very well asked, a beautiful question. There is no budget. आपको 100 रुपए का भी विनेगर मिलता है, आपको 5,000 रुपए का भी विनेगर मिलता है. It is about brands. It is about how you choose wisely. Even if you have home cooked food, which is a basic cultural Indian thali, it is very, very apt for your nutrition.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering this question. We'll move to the next question and the last question for today's session. And the question is, what is the difference between added sugars and total sugars on the food label?
All right. So, example, if I'm eating a fruit, it already has some sugar and high glycemic index. And I have although not added on top. So if my label says added sugar, that means ingredients में जो sugar था वो तो है ही है, and addition में और add किया गया है. अगर added sugar नहीं है, but base ingredients में जो sugar है उसको भी नहीं छोड़ा गया है. So whenever we read labels, I always tell everybody, if it says sugar free, example, so it doesn't mean it is fat free. Probably that is a cookie, that is a oatmeal cookie which you are getting, although it is sugar free, but it is very high in fat. So you have to read labels. If you have a diabetic person or if you're cutting down to your sugars, if added sugar is something which is not there, but the basic is there, you need to count that also.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering all the questions. That was the last question for today's session, and we are delighted to have you here at our forum and sharing such wonderful inputs on the topic with all our viewers. So thank you so much for your valuable time and for your wonderful efforts upon this topic, ma'am. And at the outset, I would like to thank all the viewers who were here with us and have stayed tuned throughout the session. So thank you to all of them as well. And with all your last comment, ma'am, we can conclude the session here for today.
I would just want to say one thing here. Be happy, chew well. Choosing your meals wisely is not just choosing the content of your plate. Contentment of your emotional well-being is more important than the plate.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such a valuable comment with us. We hope that we keep this in mind and our viewers must get the benefit that they were here for, and they would definitely add on to this on their daily clinical practices. So thank you so much for that, ma'am.
Most
So with
likely.
all your permission, ma'am, can we conclude the session here for today?
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.